If you have a child, then you're committed to at least 18 years of being the most important person in their life. Are you going to make that time count or just wing it? That, my friend, is essentially intentional parenting in a nutshell. We have the opportunity to choose how we want to parent, what values we want to teach our children, and what goals we want to focus on in raising our children. From daily interactions to larger family traditions, it's your parenting journey. Are you along for the ride, or are you going to take charge and be the best parent that you can be? Hey, amazing parents, I'm Dr. Lindsay, a psychologist and mom of four, and today I'm going to share with you my 5 C's parenting framework that I developed during my 14 years as a stay-at-home mom and now teach dedicated parents to guide them to parent with intention and confidence. Oh yeah, and the secret weapon? These are the 5 things that will promote better behavior in your child to make your parenting a whole lot easier and more enjoyable. Let's get right to it. Number 1, communication. The concept here is to communicate with our children in a calm, supportive, and loving manner using psychology-backed communication tools. So knowing what to say and how to say it sets you up for success in effectively communicating with your child. You're communicating things like your unconditional love for them while teaching them that there are boundaries and expectations within your family that need to be upheld. In my parenting membership, we talk about everything from subtleties in your tone of voice to your word selection and the way that you frame statements to your child to make sure that you're setting yourself up for success in effectively communicating with your child to promote better behavior and strengthen the parent-child relationship. Number 2, consistency. You can learn to set your kids up for success by becoming consistent in all areas of your parenting, from your family's daily routines to your typical interaction style with your children to the outcomes that they can expect from you in response to certain behaviors. Consistency is key in parenting. It helps your child to feel safe and secure with room to grow and explore. Kids thrive on knowing what the day is going to be like. There are so many things they're learning that are new every day, and having that consistent foundation, that general pattern that they can expect in things like eating times and family meal locations, and what do we do after an outing? Oh, then we come home and relax and then we do some reading, and having a consistent bedtime routine. These are all examples of ways that you can become more consistent in your parenting to really set your kids up for success so that every day they have the opportunity to show you their best behavior. Number 3, choices and checkpoints. I snuck 2 C's into that one. Now, providing age-appropriate choices is key to helping guide your children towards developing independence. Children thrive on consistency, but they also feel stifled if they're not allowed the freedom to make choices. And so you can consistently offer your children choices throughout the days. Now, you get to choose what things are going to be up to your child and what things are going to be up to you. And this is where the concept of being a loving authority figure steps into place. So there are some things that you want to happen throughout the day, and those are not going to be choices for your child. Those are going to be things that you set into place, and those are statements. But so many things, from clothing selection to what game should we play to what kind of vegetable would you like at your lunch. So many things can be choices for our children, giving them that freedom, that autonomy that will help them to then be more responsive when you do need to step in with more of a parenting, this is where we're going direction. And being aware of developmental checkpoints helps you to know when along the path you should start offering more choices and what kind of choices. Maybe it's a transition from offering just a couple of options to a more of an open-ended question as your child develops cognitively and becomes more incapable of making complex decisions. Now, understanding these developmental checkpoints is really key to setting reasonable expectations so that you know what your child is capable of. In my parenting membership, I talk about different developmental stage theorists so that parents really have an idea of where cognitive and emotional and even moral reasoning is at different age points, so you know what to expect from your child. And it's so beneficial to parents to have realistic expectations, because then it minimizes parenting frustrations. So instead of seeing certain behaviors as unwanted or inappropriate, we have a new perspective that these are really age appropriate. And yes, we want to help with some corrective feedback. We want to help guide them towards a better behavior. But it's much easier to come with this perspective of knowing, okay, this is developmentally appropriate. This is appropriate for my child. So instead of reacting in a frustrated or angry tone, I'm going to go in with a teaching tone. So that can be really beneficial to parents. We're working on today's behavior and enjoying today and letting your kid be a kid, but you're also looking towards the future and where you want to guide them in the future. Okay, fourth is consequences. Consequences help children learn how their actions affect other people, and it helps them to develop this ability to make good choices. Key to this concept of using consequences is using if-then statements, and this allows you to maintain a sense of composure in your parenting. So if you find yourself in these tense parent-child standoff moments, it is your job as the loving authority figure to set and maintain boundaries, and you can use an if-then statement to help with that. If you do not stop hitting your brother, I'm going to have to pick him up and move him to keep him safe. Setting an if-then consequence. Now, consistently following through on the consequences is key. If you set up an if-then consequence, you really need to follow through with the consequence. If they stop hitting, great, there's no need to do anything. But if they continue hitting, you pick him up and you move him over there, and then they learn that that behavior is not allowed, and it helps them to make better choices in the future. And fifth, check yourself. Check yourself means staying intentional in your parenting and using tools to help you stay grounded and happy as a parent. It means focusing on your problem-solving skills when you encounter parenting roadblocks to avoid frustration, because parenting is not always easy and kids are not always happy and smiling. We have to deal with challenging kids at times. So it's important to catch yourself when you're getting frustrated and encountering a parenting roadblock, and make sure that you use these problem-solving skills to help, and parenting tricks. I teach everything from distraction to humor, breaking tension with a smile, and then of course taking alone time for yourself when needed. Now, these 5 concepts describe every successful interaction with your child and make you feel like an amazing parent. Let me know in the comments if you agree. This is what I teach my parents in my parenting membership, the Amazing Parents Club. And whenever we're having a challenge with our children, we look through these 5 concepts and we think about the strategies that we've learned in each of those concepts, and we can problem solve like that. And it's an amazing skill to be able to really analytically, intentionally go through your parenting and think about, how can I solve this problem? It really is empowering and helps parents to feel like they're confident and capable of tackling every parenting situation that they encounter. So if you ever wake up dreading the parenting day ahead, or find yourself spending more time disciplining each day than enjoying time spent with your children, or you lack the confidence in how you manage challenging parenting situation, it's time to get intentional about your parenting practice. And I use the word practice. It's kind of a yoga term, your yoga practice. And I think of my parenting in the same way. It's a parenting practice. We all get better and better with time. And the more that we practice, the more that we get our strategies on board, the more tools that we have in our parenting toolbox, the more prepared we can be for the day ahead. So let's get intentional. We're not just winging it. We're not just saying whatever we blurt out first in reaction to whatever our children say. We're choosing to respond. We're choosing to use a different framework, word things in a different way to set you and your child up for success. Now, if you're ready to dive in and learn my 5 C's parenting framework, I invite you to join the Amazing Parents Club by heading to drlindsayemmerson.com/club. I'll put a link in the description below as well. Now, if you'd like to learn more about a specific strategy that I teach in the club, check out my next video where I'll share my #1 tip for getting your kids to listen to your requests and respect your boundaries. Keep up the good work on your amazing parenting journey.